Welcome to this explainer. We are rolling up our sleeves today and getting totally hands-on with process mining. We're going to break down exactly how you take raw, messy event log data and turn it into a crystal clear visual process map using Power Automate. It is all about pinpointing exactly where those sneaky operational bottlenecks are hiding out.
Here's our quick agenda for today. We'll start with the process mining roadmap, move into ingesting your event log data, map out those core data attributes, capture some contextual data insights, and finally, analyze your brand new process map. Let's dive right in.
Section 1, the process mining roadmap. Think of process mining as literally a roadmap that guides you on your journey toward process improvement. Instead of just guessing how your daily operations are working, it takes your raw event logs and turns them into actionable visual data flows. You can actually see where things are slowing down and figure out exactly what needs fixing.
To really ground this, let's play out a real-world scenario. Imagine you're an account manager, right? And you've just been handed access to the application logs that your finance team uses, specifically for the accounts payable refunding process. Your mission here is to use Power Automate's process mining tools to get a much deeper understanding of this invoicing process and dig up insights that could completely transform how your team does business.
Section 2, ingesting event log data.
Getting started is actually a super straightforward 3-step progression. First off, you open Power Automate, create a new process, and just hit Import Data. Next up, you choose your data source. For our scenario, we're just uploading a simple CSV file with those finance team event logs. Once you're authenticated, you literally just previewed the uploaded data to make sure your columns and rows look right. And honestly, Power Automate is pretty smart. It usually detects the right settings, like commas for delimiters, totally automatically. Now, right after that preview, you're going to see a Transform Your Data screen pop up. While Power Query lets you do some really heavy data shaping here, for this specific exercise, it's completely optional and, frankly, unnecessary. So we're just going to hit Next to bypass it and keep on moving. Keep it simple.
Section 3, mapping core data attributes.
Okay, so the absolute mandatory foundation for any process map is the case ID. You can think of a case as one specific instance or run of your process. It dictates the entire scope of what you're looking at. If you don't define that case ID, the system just has no clue how to group your data together. In our accounts payable scenario, your case ID is probably going to be a unique invoice identifier or a specific purchase order number. Next, you've got to map the activities. If the case ID is the invoice itself, the activities are the actual steps or the status changes that happen to that specific invoice as it travels through the company. So examples of activities in your logs might be things like invoice received, payment approved, or refund issued. Finally, you map the event start timestamp. I can't stress this enough. This is absolutely critical for establishing the correct chronological order of the activities in your log. Without timestamps, the system knows what happened, but it has no idea in what sequence. The event start tells the system exactly when a specific activity kicked off. So the crucial takeaway here is really understanding the difference between the event start and the event end. While the event start tells you when an action began, the event end marks the exact moment that step concluded. Mapping both of these is a total game changer because it allows the system to not just order the steps, but to calculate exactly how long a specific activity actually took to complete. For your baseline mapping, you basically just need to link your CSV file's specific column names to Power Automate's required attribute types. For instance, your case ID column maps to the case ID type. Activity name maps to activity, and start timestamp goes right to event start. Once those 3 are locked in, boom, you have the bare minimum requirements to generate a map. Section 4, capturing contextual data insights. Now, this is where mapping optional attributes really comes into play. By assigning case-level attributes to columns right from the very first event, you capture all these specific contextual details. Think about mapping the location, the role of the user, the vendor ID, or even mapping invoice value as a financial attribute. Why does all this matter? Because doing this lets you slice and analyze your entire process map through really specific lenses later on. Like you could filter it to see if refunds to a particular vendor ID are taking twice as long as the others. How cool is that? Section 5, analyzing your process map. The very second the analysis is complete, you land on the Summary tab. This visually displays exactly how your accounts payable process flows, step by step.
It gives you a fantastic high-level overview of your data flow, literally turning thousands of rows of confusing text into an intuitive visual flowchart. You can easily spot the thick lines where most of your volume is going, and those thin lines where the rare, weird exceptions happen. But, looking at this top-level overview naturally leads us to ask a really important question. How many different paths and detours can one single process actually take? We usually like to think our business processes go straight from A to B to C, but as we all know, the data rarely reflects our perfect ideal models. The Variant DNA tab answers this beautifully. When you click over to the Variant DNA view, it exposes every single unique variation and route your process took from start to finish. If an invoice looped back for approval 3 different times, it's captured right here as a distinct variant. It provides just incredible insight into every single path, showing you the ideal straight lines, but also all the messy, time-consuming detours that are actually happening in reality. So, you now have the exact roadmap to take raw event data, map its core and contextual attributes, and generate a totally dynamic visual map. I'll leave you with this. Now that you know exactly how to build this, what hidden bottlenecks and costly detours will your own event logs reveal when you map your very first process? The data is just sitting there, waiting for you. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy process mining.